Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time, and today's how to build is going to be for this TUR AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT unit. His EZA has finally hit the game. He's actually pretty decent in a very specific and very limited amount of fights, and by that I mean like 2 or 3. But he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty decent. You just got to use him properly, and I think you could see some nice, good gameplay with him. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, my name is Saiyan, and here on the channel I make Dragon Ball videos. We try to promote a positive mindset, and I also make Dokkan battle videos where I discuss the builds for a unit, so how to build the unit specifically for their hidden potential, what their role on the team is, what their defense numbers are. I think I already said that. But, you know, if that sounds all good to you, be sure to super kamehameha the like and subscribe button, and let's just kind of get into it. Now, we're going to go through the breakdown first, then the defense numbers, and then we'll go through the build suggestions, and then the roll tips, of course, as per normal. Now, this EZA for this guy, it's pretty self-centered, unfortunately. So you do have all these options for teams, but he's pretty much stuck to a GT Heroes team, unfortunately. So that basically leaves you with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and maybe the 7th anniversary duo. There's not too many options you really can use him on. We'll get to the reasons for that. But his leader skill has only increased to all types, HP, attack, and defense 60%. You don't even get any key for that. Oh, whoa, hold up. What the fun? Okay, that was weird. Anyways, his leader skills all types, key plus 3 HP, attack, and defense of 70%. That's better. Super Kamehameha wise, he does raise attack and defense for 3 turns. So this is kind of clutch to actually his entire character. You really need to keep this up. If you don't keep this up, you could be suffering on a normal instance. So additionals probably are going to be the primary source of this unit's actual use. He actually is pretty good, and I'll show you why. Now, basic attack and defense is 150. Per GT Heroes category ally in the same turn launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of being a super attack plus 100%, and defense plus 70% when receiving an attack. So now this is actually insane because each of these is per. So as long as your entire rotation is GT Heroes, you are getting an additional 50% chance to super attack for every character, including yourself, and an extra attack plus 100%, and an extra defense plus 70% for each one. So this right here, this is 100% attack when receiving an attack, yes, but because there's 3 GT Heroes on the field, that's 300% attack, and this isn't 70%, this is 7, 14, 210% increased defense when receiving an attack. If I'm wrong about that part, please do let me know. But what I can confirm in 100% certainty is that launching an additional super attack with 50% chance to become a super attack, or launch an additional attack that has a 50% chance to become a super attack. So essentially, he has his initial super, and then he has 3 50% chances as long as you have a full rotation of GT Heroes. And then he actually gets another from his hidden potential. So that is a potential penta super attack. That is 5 potential super attacks that can be launched from this guy, each of which can raise his attack and defense by 50%. Normally a raise, just saying raise, is only a 30% or even lower, but because this is a unique property of being for specifically 3 turns, it actually is 50% raise for 3 turns. Essentially being every attack you perform on the turn will carry over to the next turn. Now, when all allies attack in the same turn are GT Heroes, he gets an extra 100% attack, and he has 50% chance to crit and 50% damage reduction. 50% damage reduction is pretty good, and when HP is 50% or less, or when there's a GT boss enemy, perform a critical hit, and guards all attacks. Now, this is the part about the unit that a lot of people don't like right now. This is the part that is where it's essentially a skill check. So you either take him into a GT boss area, or you are mindful of the fact and situation of where your HP can get down to, and you take advantage of that 50% HP threshold, and know that he'll be critting for every one of those attacks that come out, and he has guard. Naturally, guard and 50% damage reduction alone, as long as the defense numbers are high enough, you essentially cannot kill this unit, at least at the time of writing. His link skills are Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Limit Breaking Form Over in a Flash, GT, and Fierce Battle. You're not going to really activate these too often, aside from when you're linking with the Super Saiyan 3 Giant Ape Goku, which is already screwed to not being in a lot of fights. But if you want to know more about that, go check out his build video. As far as his actual linking options for this guy, there isn't too much here. I would say your next best bet would be this GT Heroes Super Saiyan Goku right here. That would probably be the best link partner, because almost none of these Super Saiyan 3s you can actually link with, because none of them are GT Heroes. And that is the worst part about this unit, is that he's trapped to a full GT Heroes team, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just that last part of his passive makes him kind of feel underwhelming, but overwhelming at the same time. It's like he's stupidly good in a couple fights that are specific to GT bosses, but any other fight and you're just kind of playing with your HP. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at his defense numbers. Now, these defense numbers are compliments of Halvard over on Twitter, and these defense numbers are pretty crazy, and they're all over the place. And first, we'll start with when receiving an attack and GT Heroes. So a full GT Heroes rotation, post-super, he's only got 800k defense. So turn 1, he's not looking too hot. But with 3 super attack effects, meaning you had a triple super on the previous turn, your start of turn defense is already 1.3. You got 50% damage reduction. Defense post super is 1.6. If he double supers, that's 1.8. If he triples, it's 2.1. If he quads, it's 2.4. And if he pentas, it's 2.6. If you have double Gogeta support, or you have double Super Saiyan 34 Goku support, Carnival, AGL, Goku, then you're getting way into the 3 million, 4 million plus range. Now, 50% damage reduction is already enough and makes this guy insane. So he is actually really bloody good, being at the defense numbers of about 3 million and having 50% damage reduction. You can do basic math. If a 6 million super comes at you, you cut that in half and he's tanking that with 3 million. So the real thing that makes him good is these stack effects. So in order to make sure that this guy is defensively viable, he needs to have those additionals going off. He needs to get those stacks in there. As long as you have that, this guy is one of the safest units you can rock on the team. But you absolutely have to have those stacks keep on keeping. You have to. So now, with all that being said on the defense numbers, let's go ahead and go with the build suggestions. Alright, so this is going to be the 55% build up here. 55%, you're pretty much trapped to doing only the additionals anyways. He's naturally having a level 5, so a level 5 silver and a level 2 bronze gets him up to 12. That's a 24% chance to additional. Now, moving on to the 1-dupe build. With 1-dupe builds, you'll be able to have 3 extra nodes on the bottom right-hand corner of the hidden potential system. It should be right here, highlighted at the top right-hand corner. So 3 out of the 4 nodes put into additional, and then the last node just put for dodge. He auto crits as long as you're below 50% HP or you're fighting a GT boss. I don't think you should take him into anything else. Otherwise, he's just basically a tank. But at that point, just keep those additional orbs from when he was at 55%. And you should be at 21 additional, being a 42% chance to additional now. With moving on to the rainbow, once again, we're just going to keep on keeping with it. Go with more additional, boys. 64% chance to additional. He is an AGL type, so his natural additional can hit level 20. You'll have 2 nodes in total, one from the top left path and the bottom right hand path, and you can have a level 6 dodge there. But I don't see any other way to build this guy. He's getting auto crits. He's got stupidly high defense so long as you're keeping up his stacks. 50% damage reduction, guard potentially. The dude's good. He's really good. I like this unit. He's very simple. Needs to be GT heroes. Fight a GT boss. I like the simplicity, though I do wish I could use him in a lot more areas. Maybe I can. I kind of want to test him out in some areas and see how well I can keep those stacks going. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, this is pretty simple for him, but let's just go moving on to the role tips. At the end of the day, if you're not fighting a GT boss, and even when you're fighting a GT boss, I feel like he's a defensive unit. He's a tank. Maybe not always in slot 1, but in slot 2 and 3, he's 100% safe post super, so long as he's at least been keeping up double, triple supers from previous turn. As far as leaders go, he has to be on GT heroes, basically. Once again, I only kept the Tech Vegito in here because this is his only other 220% option. He is not actually on the Giant Ape Goku team because he's not a Giant Ape, but the Super Saiyan 3 for Carnival Goku is a Power Beyond Super Saiyan specific supporter. So if he is on a GT Heroes team, he can still benefit from that unit. He just can't benefit from a double supported one. But anyways, his partners are going to be that Super Saiyan 4 Goku Carnival unit, or the Super Saiyan 3 Giant Ape Goku STR unit that just recently EZA'd, or the newly Super EZA'd Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well, being a solid slot 1 or 2 option to flip back and forth with this guy in. Now, as far as his best slot position goes, as I said, he is a tank, so he is able to tank in slot 1 once he has actually stacked up. Once he's stacked up those 2 to 3 super attacks, and you have a solid amount of support on the rotation with like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I think that's when you can really start keeping him in slot 1, is when he really starts getting to these higher numbers. Just keep track of your start of turn defense, and you'll be able to really like see where his defense will go. It might not seem super high because he has when receiving an attack, so it will increase. But anyways, until he actually gets some stacks in, he should just be in slot 2, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much about it for him. There's not too much else to say. He's a pretty simple unit, which I am honestly a little bit grateful for, because a lot of these units have been kind of complicated to a degree or need to be done specifically on their hidden potentials, and his hidden potential is just straightforward, and I like that about him. So, but anyways, guys, let me know how you decided to build this unit. What team are you rocking him in? And honestly, what freaking fight are you taking him into? Because he's got to fight a GT boss, or you got to be below 50% HP. That's some pretty crazy, like, restrictions. So do let me know what fights you take him into, or, you know, how he performs not always fighting a GT boss. I'm really curious. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day and a good night.